Hey guys, welcome back to BJ Tech News, episode 23. The last episode, which I went over how to install and configure WSUS. This episode is a continuation of the last episode, and to show you guys how to create the GPO so your workstations could start talking to your WSUS, and you're able to push out updates to the machine. So the last time that I was with you guys, synchronization was still going. You know, I couldn't wait because it took forever, so I actually shut down the machine and went to sleep that day. But when I started up this morning and this afternoon, actually, it succeeded in 315 updates. Was pushed down on my WSUS server, so that's pretty good. Also, last thing that we did, I did create a server's container. Okay, and let's check. Got a nice little notification that software was installed to the WSUS. I had more updates that I had to push down to the WSUS this afternoon. So it looks pretty good. It's loading all the updates. There's a lot of updates. If you're wondering where the updates are actually located, let this load up. I'm gonna minimize this. I'm gonna show you where the stuff is actually being kept or cached. So again, on the last episode, remember we dropped everything on the C WSUS folder. I don't recommend doing that. Most likely, hopefully you guys have like a partition and you would drop this stuff in your partition. Okay, so these are the folders. This is your update service database files, your service packages, and your WSUS content. So all this stuff is all your updates. Okay, let's see. Still going. Okay, so the whole point of this episode is to show you guys how to create the WSUS, and I'm gonna log in. I'm already logged into my domain controller, and I created a container, an organizational group within my Active Directory called the IT test. It's always best practice to test out your group policies before you even push it out to the root of your Active Directory, and it trickles down to all the machines in one shot. So within IT test, I have two machines. Most likely this is my WSUS. I'm gonna have my WSUS because I already have it open. I'm gonna have the GPO hit this because it's a little quicker and everything is like right there. To create group policies, you gotta go to group policy management from Active Directory. If you have the add-in on your workstation to go and connect to the group policy management in Active Directory, you could do it that way as well. To locate that stuff, go to Start, Administrative Tools, and Group Policy Management. Okay, created a shortcut in the desktop, and I already opened it up. So most likely when you open it up, this is what you're gonna get. Expand it. You're gonna get domains. Expand your domains. This is my domain, and it's up to you. You can actually go into the OU that you want to create the group policy and just create it from on the spot. I normally like to do it here. This is where all the group policy objects are held. So I'm gonna right click, hit new. I'm gonna give it a name. I'm gonna give it something real simple. WSUS policy. Hit OK. Here it goes. Click on it. Get a nice little window right here giving you a little summary of the group policy. Nothing's been modified or edited within the group policy, so we shouldn't see anything in it. So we're gonna right click, go to edit, and we're gonna modify it. Okay, so I'm going to maximize this. Okay, so the area that you want to go, I believe, would be inside policies, computer configuration policies. Let it load up. Okay, I'm actually going to close my Active Directory and close that up. Once you have computer configuration policies expanded, you want to go into administrative templates. You want to go to Windows components, expand that, and at the very bottom of that list you're going to see Windows Update. Now Windows Update has a lot of features that you can enable. By default nothing's enabled, but the number one thing that you should enable would be, and I would believe, is this one: specify the Internet Microsoft Update Service location. This is the number one group policy that you need to enable as soon as you get to this part right here. See, did I double click on it? It's not responding. There you go. Okay, you guys can read this. You're gonna specify the location of it, and it would be WSUS. Remember, web servers IIS was created for this part. I'm gonna apply it, okay it. Some people normally, if you were using the HTTPS, meaning if you was using the TCP 8530 or the 8531, most likely you're gonna have a colon and enter the number or 1. But in this case, I'm using port 80 as the default because I don't have any web services running in my environment, so I really don't have to worry about any conflict. Okay. Now I'm gonna go over this stuff real briefly. It really depends on you guys on how your IT management or as an IT group decided what you want to do to push out to your users on the floor. But there's a lot of features that you probably need to sit down with your IT guys and go over it and decide what you guys really want. I know the number one thing that you should enable is what I just showed you guys. And one of the options is like do not display install updates and shutdown options in the shutdown Windows dialog box. This is pretty cool. I actually have this enabled in my environment, in my company. It's pretty cool because when the user is shutting down or restarting, when they hit the restart shutdown, updates are not being pushed out. It just automatically shuts down and just restarts rather than pushing out updates. The next one on the list would be do not adjust default options to install updates and shutdowns. Okay, they give you a brief explanation here. You guys could read this if you want. The next one on the list is enabling Windows Update Power Management to automatically wake up the system. Now, if you have a group policy that you are pushing out in your environment that's making your machines go to sleep, you know, shutting down the display, like in my case I do have that. I have a group policy that logs people off in a certain amount of time as well as puts the machine asleep, and then I also have to dim the display. More of a green friendly thing, but it depends on your company. Okay, the next one in the item is configure automatic updates. This is up to you. I'm gonna do this for this episode, but it's really up to you how you want it. I know the first time I started messing around with WSUS, I configured this, and then the next morning, all my servers rebooted, and we was freaking out. I had a lot of phone calls. Oh, the Exchange, you know, our emails are not going through, and I went to our Exchange box and I looked at the logs, and servers were pushed out to it. You really don't want that to really happen to you, so that's pretty scary. So I actually disabled this, and I think I actually had it to notify for downloads and notify for install. But the problem is you can schedule it how often you want and what time. Okay, I'm gonna keep this as notify for downloads and notify for install. I'm gonna apply that. Next one on the list is what we just did the first time I showed you guys. This is really mandatory. You need your workstations to point to this address. This is the name of your actual WSUS server in your environment. Okay. Hit next. Then you also have this automatic updates detection frequency. This update right here is really important. You would like to enable this update. You really need your workstations to talk back and forth with your WSUS. When I first saw this, I didn't configure it, but then I noticed that none of my workstations was actually talking to the WSUS, so I had to physically go in and do like a run a check update, and then the workstation will automatically start talking to the WSUS server, and that was good. So enabling this is pretty good. You can actually set it by default. It's every 22 hours, but it's up to you. Okay, I'm gonna apply that one. Hit next. The next one is allow non-administrators to receive updates notification. Again, this is up to you. The next one is turn off software notifications. If you don't want your users to get notifications that updates are being pushed out to the machine, most likely you get that little annoying little bubble dialog box in the lower right hand of the taskbar saying, oh, updates are being pushed out. If you don't want your users to know about the updates, hey, enable it. Okay, I'm gonna enable it. But when you are pushing updates, best practice is always let your users know what's happening. I know I've dealt with users that do not like to turn off their machine at all because they still have certain applications running, and when they come in the next morning, all they want to do is log in and start working. They don't want to turn stuff off. So if you're pushing out updates, they come in the next morning, their machine is logged off because it's rebooted because of updates. Hey, make sure you give them a list of give them a list of what updates are being pushed out. Give them a reason why stuff is needing to be pushed out. Even though your IT and stuff needs to be happening, you need to let your users know beforehand of what's going on. So the next one is allow automatic updates immediate installation. This is up to you. Turn on recommended updates via automatic updates. Next one is no auto restart with log on user with schedule automatic updates installation. So there's a lot of features. I mean, a lot of features. The next one will be reprompt for restart for schedule installation, delay restart for schedule installation, reschedule automatic update schedule installation, enable client-side targeting, and allow sign updates for an intranet update, Microsoft update services. So again, there's a lot of options to configure this GPO in your environment. Like for this video, I'm only enabling 4. But again, if you are the system administrator, you're the one that makes the decisions, and you talk to whoever you need to talk to, your superior, and you most likely you won't even have these 4. Most likely you have more than what I have, or just basically have 1. It's up to you. Okay, so the group policy is already set. I'm going to close this up. I'm going to go to, this is good, go to settings. It's going to generate a report, and it's going to basically give me what I've just done. Okay, show all. So this looks good. Awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the IT test OU. We're going to right click, and we're going to link an existing group policy, which is this one. And I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to enforce it. Okay, because I want it to be pushed down to the machines as soon as possible. So I'm going to go into my WSUS server. Okay, something went wrong over here, but I'm just gonna close that. Check that out later. Probably check it out with you guys to see what's going on. My WSUS server has been acting pretty crazy ever since I started doing this episode, so I don't know why. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to the command prompt, and I'm gonna do a GP update force. That's a group policy update force command that basically says, hey, if any group policies have already been created and are supposed to be pushed down to this machine, hey, push it down to me. So I'm going to do a CD /CLS to clear it, and I'm going to do GP update. The GP doesn't need to be capitalized, and I'm going to do a force. It's up to you if you want to do the GP update force and then restart the machine. It's really up to you. I probably won't do that. I probably will do that, matter of fact. I'm gonna run GP update force again. Then I'm going to run a RSOP command. Now, what that's going to do is going to run a quick report on the machine and give me a report of what group policies are pushed out to this machine. So hopefully the WSUS policy that we created not too long ago is already pushed down to it. So on start, I'm going to do RSOP. Oh wait, RSOP .msc. There you go. There we go. Let's exit out of this. Let's wait until the report pops up. And this is just a report of what policies have been pushed out to the machine. I did do a GP update force. So if I expand administrative templates and actually go into Windows component and Windows server, you should see the policies that we actually configured before is being pushed down to this machine. Awesome. So let's say if I exit out of this, okay, and let's open up the WSUS console, see what was going on there. And if I do a refresh in the computer container, hopefully BJ-WSUS should appear, and I could assign a membership to it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it's up. Well, I got a lot of updates. So what we're gonna do is expand my server, BJ-WSUS, expand the computers, expand all computers, do this, and if I'm lucky, I should see my computer here, and I'm gonna hit the drop down and do an any, and I'm gonna refresh the container. And there we go. There we go. It hasn't reported as of yet, but most likely when the server does report to it, this is going to change. I'm going to right click on this, change the membership. I only have one membership group in it, so it's servers. Okay, let's go in servers. Change this to any. Okay, so let me see if I can make this guy talk and report in. Okay, check for updates. Alright, refresh. Doesn't report yet. Normally this takes a while. Let's see if I could do a reboot to the machine, and that would change the status, hopefully. If not, again, most likely this stuff takes a while for it to talking to WSUS. I know when I first set up WSUS a couple of times in some and you know, the companies that I worked in the past, as well as the company that I'm working with, all the machines took about two or 3 days to actually appear to the WSUS and also to report in. But once everything is reported in and everything is being shown, I mean, WSUS is awesome. You know, it's just, you have more power to control what's happening into your workstations, which is awesome. So let this virtual machine start up. I can log in and cross the fingers. Hopefully the WSUS reported to the console, and show you guys how that looks. Okay, so let's log in. Send a Control-Alt-Delete command, log into the machine. Okay, so I'm already logged in. Let's double click on the Windows Server Update Services icon to load up the console and see what's up. Okay, yes on this. More waiting. Do apologize for the wait, guys. I mean, ever since I started this whole WSUS thing, I mean, the WSUS has been giving me so many problems lately. It's crazy. So let's see, hasn't reported in. It's probably one of those things that I have to actually give it some time. Let me try one more thing, and then if not, you know, guys, I do apologize for that, but most likely the server should be talking to the console. It just takes for a while. For my experience, me dealing with it, it does take a while. If you do notice right here in the Windows updates, what it says managed by your system administrator. So stuff is being managed. You got the change settings. Remember the settings that I did before, every day at 3 a.m. Check for updates, but let me choose whether to download and install. See, it's basically locked down from the group policies. So the group policy is talking to the machine, but it just takes a while for the machine to actually start talking to the WSUS server in the console. That's really normal. Don't freak out if it doesn't talk to it right away. I know when I had problems, you know, just give it some time. Other than that, that's how you set up the group policy for your workstations to actually talk to your WSUS. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please check out my blog. My blog is bjtechnews.wordpress.com. Also follow me at sorry about that. Also follow me at Twitter at bjtechnews. And please comment, please subscribe to my channel, show some love. If you want to follow me and also get the latest and greatest updates, or if you guys have any opinion on what you want to see on the future episodes, let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.